Where is my tripod? And bam, y'all. All right, so we got the stream updated. Now we'll be going here in about 10 seconds on Amazon. I'm also going to get everything else going, and we'll be off to the races. With that being said, cheers, everybody. Ooh, that tea's so hot. Ooh, I still got a little bit of sage up in there, too, that's loosely floating around. But either way, again, we're going to be digging into our Black Friday deals, Cyber Monday deals, pretty much here early, going to be staying throughout the month, as well as digging into just some of my top fitness picks, nutrition tips, tools that can be helpful for, again, the overall lifestyle of fitness. That's the whole point of all the streams, all the stuff we dig into, and just some fun things along the way. Also, you might notice I'm a little bit congested, so don't mind the nasaliness and all that kind of fun stuff. But with that being said, let's kind of dig on into it. I'm going to put some messages here in the chat. Again, we're going to get a duck race going for this stream, and then I'm going to have a second stream at about 8 o'clock, maybe 7:45, 8 o'clock, somewhere in that time. It is 6:15 Eastern time right now by me, so about halfway through the stream at 7 p.m. Eastern time, we're going to start the duck race. But I'm going to actually type some of those messages here on Amazon. If you're watching on any other one of our platforms that I'm streaming to you guys from, again, just know you can go to the link in the description that I provided, or in our profile. We have our link tree up. It's under Coach Mike Amazon storefront. I'll bring you right over here to this Amazon stream, and you'll be able to participate in our duck race, which the winner gets either a free Amazon gift card or access to our 28-day nutrition reset course. Either way, it's a win-win. Doesn't cost you anything. It's fun. Plus, we're going to be going over some awesome deals. I'll be sharing some perspective, and you just get to come and hang out. So I'm sharing all this information here on the Amazon stream as I kind of dig into this. And what we'll do is we'll dig into the Govee LED light bars first. So this is actually one I have turned on right now. I'm using these light bars because it's in the nighttime, and because, unfortunately, as it starts to head into the fall and the winter months, it gets darker earlier, as you guys can tell. And I need this light, especially now more than ever. Now, the cool thing about these lights is not only something you can use for lighting if you're creating content, but one of the things that I think is most helpful and beneficial for my fitness enthusiasts out there and for the fitness audience is the fact that you can use this during your workouts and leverage it for either pre-workout, during workout, or post-workout to impact what's called our autonomic nervous system, our ANS. And that's really looking at regulating, controlling our fight or flight system and our rest and digest system. Now, obviously for fight or flight, we're going to want to leverage that prior to working out or physical activity. And then when we're done, we want to leverage that rest and digest system so that we can, when we're eating food, going to sleep, trying to rest, trying to recover, our body will be in an optimal state for that. And you don't need necessarily lights to do that by itself, but there's been some interesting studies. The one I'm going to specifically cite has come out of the Australian University going over the impact lights and colors and LED lights especially can have on the autonomic nervous system. So, yeah, again, just throwing in some house cleaning tips here into the chat, and then we'll dig on into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up some B-roll I actually have for some of these products I think you guys will find helpful, or hopefully kind of better explain some of the details I'm going into here. And with that being said, if you guys have questions, you want me to dig into these any more, you want me to elaborate a little bit more, I'm happy to do so. But let's see, where do I have these bad boys? Here we go. Here we go. Now we're getting going. Don't mind me. One thing I realized is I literally have been sleeping most of the day today. So shout out to my wife, Ashley. She's a champ. And been helping out tremendously so I can actually get some rest.
Now again, for these Govee light bar setup, the cool thing is, again, it has a vertical holder. You could just slide this right in. Or it has an adhesive on the back. You can kind of rest it horizontally on the wall or just have it facing straight up. Now you might notice I have it just on the regular reading mode because I want the lighting feature for my actual content creation right now. But this has an app you can download. I can pull it up on my phone, and I'm actually going to show you guys in real time how you can adjust it. Because the cool thing is with this, it's not only like a set light that isn't kind of dynamic, but this actually has audio settings where I just change the coloring, and now based on me talking, see how it's changing the rhythm and the pattern? I can put it on vivid and change how it moves, put it on rhythm, put it on strike, put it on vibrate. And cool thing I use this for is like working out, honestly. So when I'm training, being able to put on a music or a playlist, having it connect to my phone, and then having the music to match that actually really helps me from like a visual standpoint to get kind of amped up. As well as the cool thing, this has a camera that comes with it. You can sync it up to your TV or your monitor or whatever kind of screen you want to use it, and then you can put it on video mode. So like right now I'll put it on video mode, and I have it set up on my monitor. My monitor has like a bluish purple background, so you can kind of see that's what it's displaying, and it's picking up on my audio. But if I had like an action scene going on, or I was playing video games, it even has a gaming mode, it has a split screen mode, so that it can pick up different inputs from like the right side of the screen, left side of the screen. This thing's, again, it's just got so much versatility, and I think it's so cool. I just highly recommend it from the fun and the function standpoint.
Yeah, Hannah, what's going on, homie? I see you. Thanks for dropping by, saying hey. And again, guys, even if you don't have any like questions around fitness goals or anything around the product, you just want to stop by, say hey, totally cool. One thing I forgot to say is we'll have our duck race at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So in about 40 minutes, just about 40 minutes. So heads up on that. If you want to get on it, just comment duck here on the Amazon stream. And yeah, you just got to be here for when we actually duck race. And then we've got a race going down. So with that being said, we're going to dig into the next Govee product here. So this is another one. So I've actually, this is something that I want you guys to follow me on this one. Typically talk about like, fitness equipment like the bench or bands or whatever, and makes sense. I think it's pretty direct, pretty obvious the benefit there. Even the adjustable dumbbells I'll have right here behind me that we'll get into. But the Govee lights, and I think the LED light bars, all right, sounds obvious, right? Like being able to get a workout in. I highlighted the Govee string lights, and this one I think maybe a little bit less obvious, so I wanted to paint a picture for you guys and see how I use them so you can kind of get that idea of that concept. And what I've been using them for is really being able to, again, kind of falling in line with that rest and digest component. Now, not as much because of the lighting, because they have different bulbs. You can actually get the color bulbs. This one's not a color bulb set, excuse me. But being able to go outside, I have these set up outside on my back deck, and I'll show you guys a B-roll of this, but I want to just paint the picture of how I like to use it. Just sit out there and just look up at the stars when it's dark. Completely cut the lights off, but then have them on. Just be able to sit, look at the backyard, breathe a little bit. And that really has been helpful for me, having some tea, things like that, to just cool down at the end of the day. So with all that being said, I wanted to paint that picture for you guys, a little bit of the rest and digest. I'm going to show you guys a little bit more of the setup, what it looks like in the back, so you guys can get a better idea. All that good stuff. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Govee LED string lights. As you can see, I have them set up here with the lights on. We're going to dig into what it actually looks like on the app and how to get it set up. But before we dig into the app, I want to show you another really cool feature, which is actually the hooks that come built on each one of the light bulbs. So you can easily hook it onto if you already have a frame or a setup like that. Super easy to pop on and pop off as well. So now let's look at getting it set up on the app. And for this, you go right into the store. You're going to look up Govee Home, and then you're going to be able to match it up to whichever product that you have. Now, the cool thing is, again, once you select the actual light bulb, you'll see if the right one pops up. Right there, you see I didn't. And then right there, now that I did, you'll see the brand and the name come up. Boom, it's going to connect. And then once you have it set up, you can even rename it if you want, set up all that fun stuff, and then have complete control from your app, which is my probably favorite feature to these light bulbs. And so many cool settings and details in between. All right, y'all. So I'm actually just playing with a little bit of the TikTok settings here because I wanted to go live on there while we're doing all this fun stuff. But we're going to save that for a little bit later. I think we're going to save that actually for the duck race, just because a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be digging into today, I'm going to be referencing some B-roll footage, and I realize it's not going to be helpful on the other platforms. But here on all the other social media platforms or on Amazon, you guys can see everything I'm playing to you guys, which is pretty cool. That's why I love technology. So a little bit about that. Again, if you guys have questions, feel free to let me know. I'm happy to elaborate on any one of the products to demonstrate a little bit more where I can, or to dig into more details how it fits into a lifestyle of fitness and some of the benefits we had. Like one of the questions we had, actually, I shared a video on TikTok, speaking of, And one of the things that came up was like one of the new balance board products that I had that I don't even have on this carousel, but I just want to throw it out there. Is like, hey, I don't really get how that's beneficial. Can you like do a demonstration or explain that a little bit more? So the next time I do that, I'm going to share that. So if you guys do have questions, feel free to let me know. But also, Hannah, I see you're good. That's what I like to hear, homie. Yeah, talk to me. Are you excited about anything for the weekend? You want to get in on the duck race? Because we're going to do that in about 35 minutes. So just comment duck if you want to get in on that. What we're going to do now is we're going to go into the adjustable dumbbells. Again, I have these right here behind me. And again, these are, I think, in my top 10 for sure when building a home gym. No matter almost what your budget is, unless it's like under $100, then that's not the best choice for you. But pretty much anything if it's between like $100 to $500 or more, my even top 5 adjustable dumbbells are going to be on there, probably with an adjustable bench. But I'd probably even put the dumbbells ahead of the bench, to be honest with you guys. Way more versatility and just more of a load resistance we can add from that. So with that being said, though, I'm going to play the adjustable dumbbell, a short video that breaks it down a little bit more of a live demonstration to it that I think will be helpful for you guys. Again, if you have more questions, you want me to kind of demonstrate it a little bit more than what's already there, I'm happy to do it. I'm actually just kind of pulling it up right now. Again, I got to organize even more. I constantly make new videos, and then I have to constantly like reorganize them. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but I love creating content. I hate managing content or like trying to organize everything. And now I'm just like looking for good people to basically like good employees, like virtual employees to help me with that. So if you know anyone, let me know in the chat. My challenge is not being consistent with my workout exercises. Ooh, that's a really important piece. And I appreciate the transparency on that. So and I think a lot of people can relate to that. The first question that comes to my mind is when you say like challenge with your consistency, what does consistency mean to you? Like, is there a minimum amount of workouts that you're trying to hit every week that you are feeling challenged by? Or is it like trying to get into like an everyday kind of thing? So that would be my first question. I'm going to play this B-roll and then I'm going to come back and we'll dig in a little bit more if you want to. We can always dig into this a little bit more. So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Flybird adjustable dumbbells. Let's dig on into them. So these are really cool because of, again, the adjustable style and the handle right here I really love compared to some other adjustable dumbbells I've tried in the past. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of the dimension look. And the cool thing is, again, you're going to see me right here, turn the handle, and that's how you select the weight you want. It slides right out, you drop it back in, you turn the handle, and you get the next one. It's a really cool feature compared to, again, some of the other styles that I've seen, and being able to go all the way from 11 pounds up to 55 pounds within seconds is an amazing, both cost-effective feature, in my opinion, as well as a space-effective feature where you don't need multiple sets. And again, I wanted to highlight that here just by going through how easily you can do your reps, superset it, drop the weight in, change it, and then go up or down in weight, which is, again, for me as a trainer, as a coach, as a fitness professional, an amazing option, especially from a home gym perspective. I also wanted to highlight for you guys the actual locking mechanism. These buttons I'm pointing at right now are what actually will release the weight, and these nodules here in the set are what's going to do it. So the only time you can change the weight is when it's actually in the mold. So this way you have a nice, safe grip, and you don't have to worry about it when it's out of the mold. So Hannah, you brought up a really good point, kind of elaborating on where that challenge is and having, not having a steady everyday routine. So first and foremost, again, I have to just appreciate you sharing that. And I want to dig into this a little bit more because I think a lot of people can relate to this. Now, unfortunately, not everyone's going to have the same kind of experience. Maybe fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to word that. The reason I say unfortunately is it may not be exactly helpful for everybody. I want to dig in for you since you're sharing this. And I'm curious, if we take a step back here, what are you doing well? Sometimes it can be really tempting to look at, oh, well, I'm not doing this well, and then get into a negative kind of a feedback loop, or even technically a positive feedback loop, but in a negative framing, and then even have some thought distortions of like, oh, well, I suck because I didn't work out 6 days this week, or I didn't have an everyday routine, or I didn't do X, Y, or Z. Sometimes reframing it and looking at, hey, what did you do? So for example, perfect example I want to ask you right now. It's been 5 days into the week since it's Friday, Monday through Friday. What's one thing you're proud of this week with your fitness kind of goals in mind, and even considering the challenges? Like, what's one thing of consistency that you felt you showed, or one piece of positivity that you're proud of? I'm going to kind of pause there. I'm going to play into the next B-roll, and if you want to answer that, we can kind of keep digging. And I appreciate you kind of kind of allow me to elaborate on this. And then this is another one, the Flybird adjustable benches. I have, the Black Friday deals I mentioned in the title. I'm going to give you the exact, so this is another great example, 33% off right now. Definitely recommend taking advantage of it because once it kind of months over and going into Christmas, these deals are probably going to be over as well. I can't tell you the exact timeline, but just my 2 cents on that piece of it. And oh, hey, what's up, Diane? Thanks for dropping by saying hey. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the Flybird adjustable bench. And I'm a huge fan of the brand Flybird first and foremost, but I love the adjustable bench. It's so versatile. And a big thing that I like here is check out this spot for your ankles where you can hook your feet. The cool thing I like about it as well is it folds down, as you could tell. Also, I'm going to show you guys on the flip side the pin and spring action. I'm going to pause for a quick second. I want you guys to see this has a spring component of it. So when you pull it out, it'll allow it to lock into place versus other benches. Sometimes we'll just have a little latch mechanism. Also, I want to show you guys the different positions to give you a little bit more idea of the versatility from the angles here, as well as talk about how that comes into play with your training. When you're able to change the angle, you can focus on different muscle groups and how they interact with one another. So the ability that Flybird provides to change these angles going into multiple different positions is awesome, as well as being able to work in a variety of different exercises as well. And the durability of it is clutch. That's a big one for me, and I highly recommend. Check them out. So good, y'all. Having some. So I want to say it's ginger turmeric tea from a tea bag, and then I added some sage from the backyard, which I grounded out with one of our grinders here that I even have on the carousel that I'm going to dig into later. Forgot if it's on this one. Let me actually check if it's on this carousel or if I have it on the next stream that I'm going to be going over, because I set up 2 different. Yeah, it's on this one. So we'll even dig into that a little bit, but it's a perfect example, nice little plug. And we're going to keep it rolling right along. So even though it's not summertime, sun's still going to be out, probably no matter where you live, except for maybe a few remote areas in the world. And this can be a really beneficial product and a beneficial tool to use to get outside. Now, when it's not as warm, may not want to be outside without some bundled up clothing, hoodie, but honestly, even when it snows and stuff, I like working outside and getting outside and changing up the scenery. So it's not the same mundane routine. And going back to this lifestyle of fitness, this idea of like an overall sustainable lifestyle, changing up the scenery is a really big one. That's what I like about like remote work, being able to work remotely from anywhere in the world pretty much. And it really like, especially when I was living in Thailand, I noticed a big kind of jump from that. I was back in 2016 to 17. And then ever since, obviously, with COVID and everything else going on, like pushing to the remote world has been pretty drastic, and especially in the fitness space, that's been a really big thing. But in general, for everybody out there, just changing up your scenery can be really helpful to not get stuck in a rut, so to speak. So with that being said, I'm going to kind of play solar panel breakdown. And then also, again, in the chat, if you guys want to share challenges, go over anything, like Hannah was sharing some of her like fitness goals and challenges and things like that, I'm happy to dig into it with you guys. We're also going to get a duck race going in about 30 minutes. So if you guys want to get in on a duck race and a chance to win an Amazon gift card for free or access to our 28-day nutrition course, just comment duck in the chat and I'll get you guys and get the race going. With that being said, let's get on into it. So you might be able to notice right up here, I've got what this solar panel is going to look like set up outside. The cool thing I wanted to demonstrate, especially outside, is because obviously it's not sunny right now, and even if it was, like just set the sun coming outside, you guys won't be able to see that. So it's a 2-panel setup, and it's 80 watts. This one's going to be, from my notes of what I was able to see, it's going to be about 20 to 23% more efficient than other panels on the market, which is pretty awesome. And the cool thing you can see I'm using right here in this B-roll footage is it has these little Velcro kind of kickstands that just flop out. Then you can put it on its side so it's angled better for the sun and being in position. And then the last piece I always like to highlight with these specifically is this little compartment here on the back. I think is super cool that you can just open it up. This is where you're going to have both USB plugins as well as a DC plug-in, and it's going to come with some cables, your adapters, pretty much anything you're going to need to set this up and have it function, as well as it's also going to have carabiners in here. If you ever just need the carabiners to kind of connect everything and keep it all organized, which I thought was really cool. So I wanted to share that with you guys and kind of give you a little bit of a preview, not only of what this looks like and the solar panel by SunPals, as well as the B-roll footage right here. So if you guys enjoy, hopefully that's helpful, let me know. And I give this one a thumbs up from my experience so far and the functionality with it. Boom, y'all. So again, like, I want to highlight this for a second. I think it's important. Sometimes when we look at fitness, we look at health, we look at like, all right, it's boiling down to working out, exercise, whatever kind of activity, and like food and nutrition, which are massive components to it. But honestly, it goes way beyond just what you're doing for activity and what you're doing for nutrition. Now, you can make drastic life changes with both of those components. But realistically, especially when we think about sustainability, when we think about like quality of life, that's a really important kind of phrase that I gain or I get from having conversations with clients and prospects and even working with our coaches and when they scale up, but doesn't necessarily get used in that sense is, even with that product, any of the products is like, how does it impact the net or overall quality of life that you have? Does it make it better or worse, or is it neutral? If it's not making it better, in my opinion, it's kind of one of those situations where why do you have it there in the first place? So that's, again, maybe a very, very like general question, but I just wanted to pose that out there for you guys to think about. So we're going to keep it rolling right along. We're going to get into the Namola kitchen set. And this is another one. Like, this is obviously like makes sense for meal prep because you're going to use these tools and utensils for meal prep, but overall quality of life perspective, like here's another side perspective I look at is like with my kids, because of the fun colors, my girls love using these tools and get involved in like making food. Like they made cookies before. And yes, we still make cookies in this house. Now, do we make them with some added protein, with not as much added sugar, with being able to use a higher fiber option like oats, as opposed to using regular like maybe flour or sugar added to it? Things like that can go a long way. But getting your kids involved in like food, into cooking, into baking, and can be like an overall benefit to your quality of life, because then it's not I have to go make this. It's I get to, and I get to do it with my kids. Plus, there's also like an interesting perspective. I'll shout out to my brother-in-law, Jen Michael, who's always like, this one always like sticks out to me. Is like, hey, look out for your future self. So for example, meal prep is a great way to look at that for looking out for your future self. Or get tools, equipment, and options that you're going to want to use, you get to use in the future. To me, that's another way of looking out for yourself. With that being said, though, let's dig on into the breakdown here and review a little bit more details.
So the thing I love about this set is there's two, the function and the visual, the colors. So I really enjoy the actual colorfulness to it for both, not only like the pieces that come for like the spatulas and the whisk and whatnot, but even for the cups. So you can have that. I just find it easy to see. And then my girls, I have a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, they find it a little bit more, I think, visually just appealing and attractive. So they'll like want to help me actually bake or cook or whatnot, which I absolutely love to get my kids engaged with stuff like that. And then from a function standpoint, again, they do a great job with just having to actually be a spatula, the tongs, the whisk, all that fun stuff. They last, can throw them in the dishwasher. I've had them for a bit now, and I'm really liking them from the setup perspective, and even coming in with the case or this like container for this set makes it easy and just kind of organized and all set together. So I've used these quite a few times, even on my live streams, and it's always gone really well with just even having the girls want to help with that. So I highly recommend it, especially if you have kids out there and you want to get them involved with the baking, the cooking, and just kind of getting them to just take an interest in stuff like this, having things that are colorful. And then even when it comes to nutrition, as a nutrition kind of coach and specialist there, with being able to make it involved with your kids, they're going to want to eat those meals as well. So I highly recommend giving that a shot.
Yeah, Evans, what's going on? How you doing this Friday? Evans, I know you're down for a duck race, as always. We're going to do it in about like 20 minutes. Also, anyone else, if you guys want to get in on the duck race, let me know, whether you're watching it here on Amazon, you're watching on other social media platforms I'm streaming from. The key to this is you have to comment duck on the Amazon platform. You know what? Maybe I'll even open it up. Forget it. No matter where you're watching this, just comment duck. Let's see how this goes. If you guys want to do a duck race and you don't want to jump on the Amazon stream, I might even open up to everywhere else. And Angeli, thank you for the follow, by the way. I appreciate that. I completed, also going to Hannah's kind of win for the week, I completed my walking goal for this week. So that's huge. So again, I appreciate you sharing that. And sometimes being able to, I wonder if this resonates with you, Hannah. I just said Anna, I apologize. But Hannah, if that resonates with you, sometimes being kind of harsh and critical of yourself. So that's like a really exciting thing. And I wonder if we extrapolate that, if you look at, what made you successful with your walking goal this week. Now, if you step back and look at like, how can you apply that to another goal that you might have around your routine, your workout routine. Or even beyond that, maybe not going as far into a goal, saying, all right, how many days you get your walk? I'm just gonna make up a number. Let's say it was 3 or 5, whatever. Now it doesn't have to be every day. Being able to progressively build over time can be a really helpful component there. So with all that being said though, we're going to keep it rolling right along. Speaking of walking and hiking, we're going to look at these Anluke men's trail running and hiking shoes. Now, I have a little bit of a breakdown on this one. And I was also recently able to take these hiking with me to an Arizona business trip and to check out an amazing spot. Shout out to Canyon Ranch and shout out to Woody at Asheville Taxi here in Asheville, North Carolina. If you need a ride, don't go to Uber, don't go to Lyft. In my opinion, I'm biased because he's a client, a friend of mine. Go to Asheville Taxi or Asheville Ride. They're the spot. But yeah, I was able to really test them in a little bit more of a challenging, not even that, it was like a level 4 trail out of, I guess, whatever, like 6 or 7. So nothing too crazy, but I could feel some of the other areas of instability with the low cut to the shoes, with the string, some little things to improve upon, but overall, they were really great quality. And I'm going to just share this B-roll, and then we'll keep on digging it right along. And again, if you guys want to get that duck race going, let me know. But Hannah, I'm going to kind of give some more answers in the chat here as well. In this video, we're going to be looking at the Anluke 1912 gray men's hiking and running shoes. Now, right off the bat, you're going to see they don't have your traditional shoelaces. I actually really like this feature. It provides for really easy slip in, slip out, and then just tying them down so that you have the right fit. And I also like the tread that they provide at the bottom, the breathability that they have, so you can get them kind of wet, not have to worry about they can take forever to dry. And you can see that tread right there. Great for support and just hiking, running, all that good stuff. And speaking of running, I figured I'd just kind of show you guys a little bit on what it can look like going for a little bit of a run and just kind of show you guys in the real world application of things. Again, I really like the fit and the grip as well. Excuse me. All right, so now we're going to dig into, we already went over the Govee lights, but I wanted to just share with you guys another just option, just a little bit of a difference in the price point, a little bit of difference in the function, the audio voice control feature to it. So I just wanted to highlight that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I'm going to keep it rolling right along. We're going to look at the Sixus Sun Visor UV protection for cyclists. This one's another one that has 30% off, great discounted deal. And I don't spend as much time cycling nowadays, but now I'm progressively getting kind of more into it, especially with more and more clients doing that. And it's something I've done in the past. I've done triathlons, for instance, like not wanting to honestly run as much just because the impact. I have a tear in my labrum on my left hip. Some of the things that are going on there. I want to just be a little bit friendlier to my body, but still developing my cardiovascular and my aerobic system. And I like getting out into nature as much as possible. Hiking's still great, but this can be a really cool just product and option to kind of, especially when you're picking up speed and you're cooking. That's like one thing I've talked to some of my clients about and just other like cycling enthusiasts is when you're really getting after it on the bike, like you're picking up speed, you do like 20, 30 miles an hour, you can get like all types of stuff hitting your face as well as like sun rays and things like that. So you want some UV protection. So that was just kind of an important factor, but I'm going to play a little bit more B-roll kind of showcasing the visor themselves, and then we'll keep it rolling right along.
So for this visor, you guys, I'll put it on just so you can kind of see what it looks and how it fits. This one's great for our cyclists and anyone that's biking that wants to make sure that your face is protected, from like a sunglass perspective, as well as like, I think about it this way. I don't cycle a lot where I'm doing a lot of downhills and whatnot and go crazy climbs, but I have some clients and I have some close friends that do. They've talked about how fast you can go on the bike. And I always think about like, what happens if you eat a bug in the face or something like that? That's not fun. So like, this can be great for like the sun and protecting from a UV protection, but also just shielding your face from like bugs or whatever not that can come across your face. So again, super easy, very functional, and I think gets the job done. So from my experience, even when I've used it, getting outside, getting on the bike, or just getting out and testing it out in the sun, it's done a great job. So I give it a thumbs up and happy to use it and share it even with my clients. I've gotten some really good feedback on that as well.
Hey, Dana, what's going on, homie? Dana, we got a duck race going down in like 15 minutes. I'm pretty sure you and Evans are going to want to get in on that because you guys are always down for a duck race. Again, I'm curious, like you won like 8 in a row. I got you. And I want to say since we finally add the prizes back in, I don't know if you've won any. Does that sound right? Let me know. I'm just kind of curious. That's an interesting thing. But I want to make sure that, again, you can always enter in the championship races. So the fun thing about the duck races, y'all, is when you do win, not only you get the choice between the Amazon gift card or the nutrition course access, but then you have the option to basically at the end of the month we do a bigger gift card and a bigger giveaway, and only winners from duck races can enter that. So that's kind of like a cool added bonus that I think is kind of fun. And yeah, you have like interesting, very interesting. I don't know. We'll see if that streak's going to break tonight. Because again, I'm going to hit you guys with 2 streams. I have this one probably be done around like 7:45 in another hour. And I'm going to do another one right after that at 8 o'clock Eastern time, digging into a couple different products and then also having another duck race going down. So, trying to have as many streams as possible with my schedule and everything going on, but also give you guys many opportunities to win duck races too. But with that being said, we're going to get on into the motorcycle cushion, a little bit of a breakdown and demonstration here.
All right, so I wanted to break down this motorcycle seat. So I actually don't have a motorcycle, but my father-in-law does. So I got this bad boy for him. And I wanted to at least just share my experience and my review with you. A, from trying it myself, from sitting on his bike, and then his thoughts. So, cool thing is, again, you can pump it up with air or fluid, be able to kind of strap it on right here. And so far, I've gotten a thumbs up. He hasn't taken it like cross-country yet, just like local rides. But comfort, says it gets the job done. I actually felt it. I've even not only used it on his motorcycle, but I've used it on a chair before. I actually felt really good to just kind of have that change on how the kind of material just felt, and the hard to just give a little bit of support and softness. So I want to share that with you guys. That's my experience and from my father-in-law experience. I'll also update this as he gives me more insight and whatnot, but I just want to bring that to you guys with this bad boy. Yeah.
All right, y'all. So, and then I want to say, Angeli, I saw you comment, Doug, there we go, I see you, and then Hannah, including more healthy meals to my daily diet, and adding arm exercise to my walking routine. So you have 2 kind of different goals on the spectrum here. So one is nutrition related, the other is building on top of your walking routine. Both are great goals. So here's one thing I think that might be interesting or helpful to think about is when you think about on a scale of, and again, I'm doing this with Hannah, guys, but like if you guys want to comment, I'm happy to work through this. And hopefully the system I'm using here, the ideas, the concepts are kind of making sense with how I'm approaching this. It's basically kind of, there's an approach here that hopefully you guys will be able to recognize. It's basically build off of what you're already doing, what's realistic, and then what's attainable. So now looking at what you're already doing, if we put this on a scale of 1 to 10 with those 2 goals in mind you mentioned, 1 being impossible, 10 you can do with your eyes closed. Rank each one of those. Like how confident are you in including more healthy meals to your daily diet or with adding an arm exercise to your warm-up routine? If they're an 8, 9, or a 10, that's a pretty confident goal. That's the one I would say we lean to. If neither of them are an 8, 9, or a 10, we can dig into that. But I'm curious, if you rank those on a 1 to 10, like 1's impossible, 10, no problem to do with your eyes closed, which one of those would be an 8, 9, or a 10, if not both of them? Anyways, that's my 2 cents on that. I'm actually going to just, let's see if I can type in over here. Angeli got you in for the race, and Hannah, let me know what you think, if that's helpful. Bam! All right, so we're going to keep it rolling right along. We're going to dig into the cooling vest here. So I'm going to highlight the cooling vest. I'm actually just going to go live here on TikTok as well because now we're getting into the duck race. So Angeli, got you on the duck race. Dana, I know you're going to be on the duck race. Evans, you want to get on the duck race? Or Hannah, do you want to get on the duck race? Anyone else? Let me know on any of the other platforms you guys want to get on the duck race. And duck races. Bam! All right, so I'm going to put this up right here. Get my TikTok stream going as well. Diane, I got you in. Diane, you are in. And then we are live here on TikTok as well. All right, sweet, I got you. And what's up, TikTok fam? So you guys are joining in. I'm live here on Amazon already. And what I'm going to do is this one, I'm actually going to be talking about live. We're going to have a duck race here in about 10 minutes. You guys are like, Mike, what's a duck race? Even if you guys here on Amazon, you may not know, like Diane, I feel like you've been on the duck race before. I'm pretty sure you have. But Angeli, if you've never seen a duck race before, anyone else on TikTok, let me know in the chat if you guys want to know more about what a duck race is. But I want to share with you guys, check out this product I have right here behind me. Whoop. So on Amazon, you guys can see it right here. On TikTok, you guys might not be able to see it right here. So I'm going to actually grab it to give you guys a better demonstration. First of all, check out the dope. Shout out to the New York Jets. Pretty hard being a Jets fan, I gotta be honest, but gotta show that love. Been a Jets fan my whole life, so can't bail on them now. You know what I mean? Just because I moved to the Carolinas doesn't mean I'm moving my team. So this is a really cool product when it comes to like fitness and recovery, especially, and just body temperature regulation. So if you guys are watching this on TikTok, you're watching on other social media platforms besides here on Amazon, I actually have all these products on my Amazon live stream. I'm doing a live stream on Amazon right now. If you want to get on that, you can just go over to my link tree in my profile. It's under Coach Mike Amazon storefront. I'm live streaming right now on there. So you guys can actually see the products live. If you want to buy them, you can totally buy them. Just a very transparent perspective. I make a commission on all of these products, fun fact. So I'm just throwing that out there as well. So this would be the front. The cool thing about this, again, it has hoses, and what you do is you fill it up with water right here in this little like kind of jug or container component of it. You throw ice in there, and then you have an external power source right here that you plug in. Turn this bad boy on, and it circulates the ice cold water, and it helps you regulate your body temperature by having that ice cold water going through these hoses. You're wearing it, and it brings down your overall body temperature. You might even be asking me like, all right, that's cool, Mike, but like I have no idea how that's going to be helpful to my health, my fitness, or my recovery. So I'm going to paint you guys a few scenarios on where I've personally used them and what you can use them, even though I haven't personally used them for that. What are some options here? So number one, if you are an athlete, if you're someone that's training in an outdoor environment, or you're someone that's really, really sweaty, or you get really, really hot during your training, this can be a helpful component during your rest sets or your rest periods to help regulate your body temperature. The more you can regulate and control your body temperature, the more effective you can actually perform, because as your body temperature increases, as you overheat, it can actually negatively impact your performance. Now there's like a balancing component. Even in warm-ups, it's called warm-ups because we're increasing our body temperature. So it doesn't mean you want to be ice cold. You don't want to go into a training session completely frigid. There's a balancing act we want to have there. But if you get to too hot, like 101, 102, 100 plus degrees Fahrenheit, it's going to negatively impact your body's ability to perform at its efficient and highest level. So that's one example, especially for my fighters out there. Like this is one we've experimented with cooling down in between rounds. You might even notice like in between fights, they'll use like an ice cold towel or an ice pack to put on your neck and your chest to help bring your breathing down, bring your breath down, and just relax a little bit, like transition that heartbeat or transitioning it down. One of the other things you can do is like football players, especially if you've done 2 days in July and August. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? I've only played like 1 year of like JV football, and I already know what that experience is like, and it's rough. So the other thing, now on the flip side, let's even say you're not going to do it for your words. Like, Mike, I'm going to be honest with you, there's no way I'm going to use this during a training session. All right, I got you. Whatever, that's on you. What you can also use it for, that I've used it for, is like I have 2 young kids. They want to play outside, especially like 1 o'clock in the Carolinas in the middle of the summer. It's a hot day, y'all. So I would throw this bad boy on and actually help regulate my body temperature, especially when my kids are going in their like kid pool and they're already staying cool because they're in the water, right? I'm not going in the water. I'm not trying to like fit in that little kiddie pool. I throw the cooling vest on, helps regulate my body temperature. That was actually a clutch one. Or even like doing a barbecue, or if you guys are doing like tailgating, things like that, you're starting to get sweaty by the grill, this can actually be a pretty cool one too. Or if you're just in any kind of outdoor environment, you tend to sweat and overheat, this can be a really clutch tool. But with that being said, we're going to keep it rolling right along. We're going to dig on into the wireless earbuds. I'm going to try and cover these and go into a few more products before we get into our duck race. We're going to do the duck race in about 5 or so minutes. So let me actually pull up. I'm going to pull up the duck race now and start putting everyone's name down just so I can make sure I got it. If you guys are watching on TikTok or any of the other social media platforms and you want to get in on the duck race too, just comment duck. Normally I make everyone actually come on over to the Amazon stream to get in on it, but I think that I want to experiment tonight and see if everyone just wants to type in duck. So Hannah, I got you. So we got Hannah, we got Dana, we got Evans, we got Diane, Angeli. Let's see if we got anyone else. Bam. I'm going to check. Doesn't look like anyone else in the chats. Got you, Hannah. All right. So with that being said, I wanted to dig into, where do I have my earbuds? I actually have them by the door. So I'm going to play you guys a little bit of a B-roll. And then on TikTok, you guys are just going to hang in there with me. And I'll show you guys. We can actually watch the duck race going down in real time. Let me pull these bad boys up here. And bam. So if you guys want So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the Cespetter wireless earbuds. And the cool thing about this is the portability. As you can see, also the charging cable that it comes with. You have those lights in front so you can see if it's charging, which adds up to 30 hours of charge time. And a single use is 5 hours for these earbuds. Super streamless, comfortable, easy fit. And again, the ability to have 5 hours for one charge, which you can see when they're plugged in properly, it'll light up differently. Now let's check out how they look and feel. So here you can see I'm going to be pulling them out to put them in. Unfortunately, because I have cauliflower ear, I can only fit them in my left ear. So for all my wrestlers and grapplers out there, be mindful of how it fits. But wore that left ear, super comfy and great sound. All that good stuff. So I want to kind of dig into another product here that we're going to cross compare those earbuds with. Even though it's not the next one on the carousel, we're going to dig into... Oh, tell me I don't have them on here. Oh, there we go. We're going to dig into the same brand headphones, but they're the pink case. Now, you can also get them in other colors. This one's just my wife's set, so hence why it's pink. But I wanted to show you guys something. You might notice on TikTok, what's missing? Amazon, everywhere else, what's missing in there? The earbuds themselves are missing. Now, this is I think my only, I guess I would say, gripe or complaint, because I really enjoy the Cespetter earbuds, both the ones that I have and I use in my wife's set when we actually had them before we lost them. Now we lost them because my kids took them, hid them somewhere in the house, maybe threw them in the garbage. Who the hell knows where they are at this point? If you guys have kids, you could probably relate. But I think that all earbuds now, and someone mentioned on a stream prior that the Apple AirPods might have it now, but I think all earbuds should have like a tracking feature in them. So if you lose them, you should be able to find them. Why they don't have that, I'm curious. I'm sure there's a reason, right? Whether it's a price point thing, whether it's a, technological programming thing, I don't know, whatever it is. But that's my one piece of feedback. Other than that, both these as well as the other Cespetter earbuds that I use are awesome. Great quality audio, easy to use. The microphone is actually good. I use those for actually content creation now, and I've used a bunch of other products like my Zeal Sound microphone and studio microphones and my Bluetooth microphone, even the microphone that comes on my webcam, my OBS bot webcam, like all great stuff. But the earbuds have been pretty solid, and I like just wearing them for my client calls as well. So having said that, and those are the positives. I just want to throw that one other kind of thing out there. And this one's just a little different because it's got the vertical positioning instead of the horizontal. So that's the only other difference there. With that being said, I think we're going to get into like one or two more products here, y'all. And then we're going to get on into the duck race. Then we're going to have some fun with that. So I'm going to go back into the carousel and we're going to highlight what I had next, which is the grinder that I have, which I actually got right here. I used this bad boy to actually grind up some sage from my backyard to throw into my tea, because I don't know if you guys can hear, I'm a little like congested, so to speak, combination between allergies, head cold. I also think maybe a hybrid of like overtraining a bit. Even though like I've been getting really good sleep, I think I just maybe overdid it a little bit earlier in the week, kind of getting overzealous, getting back to like jiu-jitsu, plus my weight training, plus cardio. All types of fun stuff. And if you guys know me, I'm like a high energy person as is, so it can be taxing running at that rate. But cool thing about this is exactly what I talked about. Perfect example. I like using the grinder for herbs and spices to A, leverage my home garden, some things I've grown there, but B, to keep the caloric density low on my food and drive up the kind of micronutrient and antioxidant density and the benefits there. So what does that even mean? A lot of words I just threw out there. You're like, what the hell are you talking about, Mike? So caloric density, cool. What does that mean? So basically, it's the calories by volume. So like, honestly, my wife and the girls made cookies. Cookies would be a great example of a extremely high caloric dense food. So it's high in calories, which may or may not be something you want depending on your goals. For most people out there, I say 95% of people, you don't want to gain fat, right? You want to probably lose fat, improve performance, keep your body lean, or some variation of that. Even if you want to put weight on, I've had maybe one client in my entire experience have to like put fat on their body. And that was because of like malnourished protocols or malnourished behaviors, or just like kind of issues. So with that being said, the idea is you want to try to have as little calories by volume as possible that are going to be the most nutrient dense, have the most value while not being high in calories. So you're not having added sugar, added fats, added butter, things like that. And being able to have herbs and spices can be clutch, because then you can take your grinder, grind them up, throw them into, like, for example, basil. You can make a mean pesto with it. And then you can still have a nice, delicious, flavorful pasta combo or chicken dish or whatever kind of dish. So you can take the same meal. Let's take the most stereotypical bodybuilding meal. Chicken, broccoli, rice. You can take that mixture. And by adding in different herbs and spices, you can completely change the flavor profile of it. So that's something I just wanted to highlight. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to get into the duck race. It's duck race time. Now, we got one more minute. I'm going to highlight I just want to highlight really quick before we do this, then we'll get into the duck race, the Govee LED light bars. Now, I had 2 different Govee LED light bars on the Amazon stream. This one is with the actual camera system that will change the lighting depending on the setting you have based on the TV you have it set up to. So if you're watching a movie or playing video games, something cool like that, you can actually have it change colors and immerse yourself into the experience. Or if you're watching like a workout video and you're using the LED lights to help leverage your fight or flight system, your autonomic nervous system, your ANS, you can actually have this on and be a component in that. So with that being said, I'm going to highlight the AMJ sling bag. We're going to get into the duck race. I'm going to screen share everybody on TikTok. I'm going to flip the camera around so you guys can watch this go down on Amazon, on everywhere else. I'm going to check the chat. Who else? I'll give it 1 minute to see it's duck race time. Who wants to get in? Race time. Who wants in? Also, I'm going to screen share here on Amazon, so everybody else watching, you guys will be able to see that, except here on TikTok, but I'm going to flip the screen around for you guys so you'll be able to see. So we've got Hannah, Dana, Evans, Diane, and Angeli. I got you guys on. Again, I'm just going to make sure you guys are here, so I'm going to go into... Let's go into this. I'm actually going to pull this right up here. There we go. While the chat, 1 more minute. And if you guys are not on the Amazon stream, I'll be able to see it here. Check the chat. Whoops. Got the chat going right here. Doesn't look like anyone else wants in on it. So with that being said, I'm going to give it like a couple more seconds. We'll have everyone else... and we'll do our race. Again, cool thing about this for the duck race is you guys get a free Amazon gift card if you win, and it doesn't cost you anything to get in on the race, which I think is kind of a fun option. And then you always have the choice to be able to choose, oh, Dana, I got you in, to be able to choose the nutrition course instead of the Amazon gift card if you want to do that. Got you. Okay. Also on TikTok, if you guys have any requests or anything you want me to kind of throw into these streams, let me know. Any of the other platforms, Amazon even, I'm always open to any thoughts around that. What's going on, y'all? If you guys want to get in on the duck race, have a chance at winning at a free Amazon gift card, just comment in the chat or chat in the comments. You know what I'm saying. Leave it, just comment duck. It's basically my point. Or you can hop, don't forget to shuffle. Oh, yeah, we're going to have to shuffle it up, Dana. I see you. Don't worry. All right. And again, we got a chance of winning in the gift card, so we got a done deal. We're going to go 60 seconds. Bam. Now, here's the catch. Do we want to go regular ducks? Do we want to go the color ducks, or do we want to go costume ducks? What do you guys think? Any requests? For race number show, custom logo. Oh, we can do custom logos? What? All right, let's see if we got any requests here. I'm going to kind of I'm going to shrink this down so we can see the chat. Costume? All right, I'm with you, Diane. I like the costume idea. If you guys either on TikTok or social media, you guys have any requests, let me know in the chat and comments. All right. All right, so it's race time, y'all. So we've got pretty much everybody set. We got Angeli, Diane, Evans, Dana, Hannah. We're ready to rock. I'm going to see if anyone else is missing in the chat. No. All right. Let's pull it up. Going 3, 2, 1. It's duck race time, y'all. Let's get our race on. Bam. All right. So we got 1 minute on the duck race. It's going down. Cheer your duck on. Now, I've also heard if you type turbo boost in the chat, it'll help boost up your duck racing. I don't know if that's 100% true. I actually completely just made that up, if I'm going to be honest with you guys, but I think it's just kind of fun. Let's see if I'll put this over here. All right. You can see the race going down, y'all. Let me know if this kind of like is in the way, if you guys, this is annoying for you guys. But I kind of want to see the chat as it's going down too. I'll do this right here. Kick in the turbos. Yeah, exactly. Turbo kick in. And then TikTok. After this one, I'm actually going to end the stream here on TikTok. So if you guys are watching on TikTok, am I the only one? That's a good question, Anime. Are you the only one? Oh, snap. Congrats to Hannah. All right. So congratulations, Hannah. Let's drop a little congrats. Hannah, let me know that you're here, and then we'll get you set up with... All right, I just realized I have my freaking card right there. Congrats. Bam. All right. So that is pretty much going to do it for the duck race. Let's bring this over here. We'll mute that. Bada bing. Bada boom. Hannah, I'm going to get you set up with all the info so we can get your duck race on. And then TikTok, I'm going to actually wrap up this... Anyway, I don't know. I'm going to wrap that up. We're back here. So as you guys can see, I was holding for TikTok. Now let me flip this bad boy right around. I just wanted to share that with you guys here on TikTok. I'm not going to do a long stream on this one. If you guys want to see the rest of my live stream on Amazon, you can go over to the link tree in my bio. Check out Coach Mike Amazon storefront. That's what I'm live streaming to you guys from. I'm going to be doing another stream after this one, so another duck race, another chance to win. If you guys want to check that, then tomorrow I'll be back for 2 more streams on the Coach Mike channel, 1 more stream on the Lifestyle of Fitness channel. I'll be having Deuce Carter, one of our coaches, come on. He'll be doing a live stream. We'll be streaming that on TikTok as well. So all the goodness, y'all. I'll check you guys later here on TikTok. And bam! All right, so with that being said, we handled that. I'm just going to kind of copy and paste the rules here for the TikTok situation. I mean, with the gift card situation, Hannah. So I'm just going to give you the email, what you got to do to claim it, and the winner to claim a gift card. And then again, you get to pick, Hannah. Do you either want the $1 Amazon gift card, or do you want the 28-day nutrition course access? It's totally up to you. Just send an email to the email I just put in the chat. And yeah, we'll keep it rolling right along. We have this stream brought to you guys by the AMJ Sling Bag. This is another one that has a deal to claim on it. So we'll kind of dig into the details on that. And this is one, just as a side note, has nothing to do with actually like the quality per se of the product, but I always find it interesting when like high quality coaches or professionals in their field use products. And this is one I saw one of the head coaches of Team USA for the Muay Thai team always use this bag whenever he's scoring. So shout out to Chris Clodfelter. With that being said, I'm going to drop this B-roll in, and then Hannah will get you taken care of. So the cool thing I like about this bag is A, how it fits and kind of the efficiency from the space perspective, but also the biggest takeaway to me is the ability to charge your smart device, whatever it is, like your phone, camera, whatever. You can plug in USB right here. However, what I will highlight with this bag that I wanted to make sure that I stress is it doesn't come with a battery pack or an external battery or power source. That's one you have to have separate. You have to purchase it separate, already have it, and then you can kind of drop it right in here, connect it to the cables it has set up, plug it in, and then you can actually charge your device right here through the USB that it comes with, have that power supply. So I think this is a great option, again, for my content creators out there, or for my fitness enthusiasts or fitness professionals. If you're going to go hiking, let's say maybe you're at the gym, you don't want to worry about your phone dying. If you have your like audio set up to it and whatnot, and you don't have it charged, you want to keep it near you and on you, you can plug it in here. And the cool thing, again, it has like an anti-theft component to it where it has this little like just plug, so you can plug that in. It's harder to get to the zipper. You have to unpop it to actually open this compartment. Get in there. Has a little component in here also for either an umbrella or for like I use it for my tripod, honestly. So for my content creators out there, this can be a clutch bag to leverage, especially for charging up your devices and being able to carry all the stuff that you may need, whether it's dropping an extra memory stick or memory card right here, being able to have cables, whatever have you. I'm even going to use it, honestly, as a coach and a cornerman. I'm going to use it for some cornering of my fighters, and I'm excited to test that out. But so far, it's been a quality product, and honestly, I just kind of like how it looks and feels as well. My pleasure, Hannah. Just let me know once you send that email so I can get everything set up. My pleasure. All right, so we're going to keep it rolling right along. I'm going to dig into the Luxico shower heads. I have 2 different variations. Basically, the difference you're going to see in each one is basically the modes they have and the just like differences there. So it's like 4 different shower head modes comparatively to 3 different shower head modes with the second set I just highlighted. So I'm going to play a little bit more of a B-roll demonstration. I actually have them kind of like packaged up right here behind me. So if you guys want me to demonstrate that a little bit more, I'm happy to show you a little bit on the sizing. I actually have one of the sets set up in my shower, so unfortunately you can't see that one because we're not going for a trip into the shower. But either way, you'll be able to get some idea and some context to what it looks like, how it works, all that fun stuff. And again, this is another one that has the LED lighting component. So, and you guys know where I stand with the LED lights, man. Like, I think they're such a cool thing to leverage, and it's really easy to use. So, like, why not at the end of the day? But with that being said, I'm going to just make sure that I'm not missing my new ones. Hi, email sent. All right. And I got it. I see you, Hannah. All right, perfect. And it looks like nutrition course. Awesome. So I'm going to send you access to it right now. And then you'll be off to the races with the nutrition course, with the coaching, with cool thing I'm going to give you a heads up on, Hannah, since you want to go with the nutrition course, which honestly I think is the better value, in my opinion, my humble opinion. You're also going to get access to our fitness and nutrition vault for a month, as well as our private Facebook group. So you have access to our coaches, you have access to additional support, and just really, I think, kind of level up the overall experience. And if there's anything we can do to make it better for you, please just let me know. I always want to just make it the best possible experience, and always open to feedback or different things like that. So with that being said, yeah, whoop, whoop. Exactly, Hannah. Let's get on into the shower head breakdown and review. And my pleasure once again, thank you. So the cool thing I like about the shower head and this particular kind and by Luxigo is not only the beads that it has to be able to filter the water out, which is a great feature in and of itself, which is nice. And from a functional standpoint, that's great. The bigger piece to me that I'm more excited about is the lighting component to it. It has this LED light aspect that can help change the color of the water, not by actually using dyes or anything like that. It's just the actual reflection of the LED light here, changing the color of the water as it's coming out, which there's been some really interesting kind of research around the potential impact that can have on your nervous system and how your mind and your body responds and reacts. So whether you want to get into like a rest and digest mode or like a fight or flight, like high energy state, even playing with the lighting can help. And just using this as a self-care product to be able to take some time. You know, it has 3 different settings. It has its rainfall setting, it has the massage setting, it has the jet setting. So being able to use that, dialing in how you want, this to me is a great aspect and tool to leverage it for not just having it being a shower or a bath, but have it be some self-care time for you, and using it with intention can be a really cool. I just wanted to offer up that insight and my feedback on how it's worked. Super easy to set up and a really quality product as far as being able to use it from a functional standpoint. All right, Hannah. So just a heads up and everybody, but Hannah specifically, I just sent you access to the nutrition course, and then I sent you a second access to our fitness and nutrition vault. So you get both of those. You'll get emails on that. You get set up. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Reach out to myself, the team. You have an entire team of coaches behind you supporting you now, and we just want to see you succeed. So with that being said, for everybody else, I'm going to check the chat here as well, see if there's anything I might have missed on the other streams here on Amazon. If not, we're going to keep it rolling right along. We're going to dig into another nutritional-based tool and product, the Namola baking mats. This is another one we use today for those yummy cookies. But I actually use this not just for baking, but I use this for making meatballs and some string beans as well. Getting a little bit of I don't even know what the glaze was. We had Hello Fresh and we just kind of mixed it up. But this was a clutch one, so we didn't have, because I ran out of like aluminum foil or the sheets for the pan. So this was a clutch one just to use so it didn't get stuck to the pan itself. So another side benefit, I don't even talk about, I think, enough for the Namola baking mats. I usually talk about like actually baking with them, but even just like cooking meatballs on it was actually really clutch. So with that being said, let's dig on into it and I'll break it down for you guys so you can see a little bit more in the detail here. And bam.
All right, so again, I've used this brand and some of their other products before, and I really like them just from a durability, reliability perspective. But these baking mats are pretty clutch because, again, they're made from silicone. Using them, like, again, me and my wife both, we enjoy baking for different reasons. Like, she just likes making delicious things because her family is a family of bakers. I enjoy it from a nutritional standpoint, so being able to make like protein muffins and cupcakes and no-bake cookies and stuff like that. So being able to have something like this to just set it on, be able to use it, leverage it, have it reusable has been really clutch. And again, they just work at the end of the day. So this is one that's maybe less like from a fun perspective, just more of a function perspective. But for me, these are great from a function perspective. I give them 2 thumbs up. They've held the test of time for us and from our experience. So can't recommend these enough for the function of what you need to use them for.
Bam, y'all. All right, we're going to keep it rolling right along. We're going to dig into the leg chair cover. Speaking of like silicone-based stuff, this is another one that like I want you guys to just follow me on this one. Hear me out on this thought process. You may be like, all right, what do leg chairs cover have to do with like fitness? And to me, again, it just goes back to quality of life and like stress management too. I don't know about you guys, but like little things can kind of stress me out at times. So like scratching up our wood floors or our any kind of like hardwood floors or variations of that can kind of stress me out. Or if it stresses my wife out and I get stressed out, it's a lose-lose kind of situation. Also, side note, I use these for my mats here. You can kind of see some of the puzzle mats I have behind me. I use this for if I ever have to use this chair and put it on the mats for whatever reason to have like an additional kind of table, so to speak, or something to put on like a camera or a secondary light. I put leg chair covers that I only use for this chair so that I don't cross-contaminate my mats, which if any of you have done like martial arts or like wrestling or things like that, fighting, you had to deal with staph or ringworm, you'll kind of understand it. But with that being said, let's dig on into the leg chair covers here.
The thing I like about these are like, this is a product that I think is less about like the fun aspect and more about the function to it. So these leg chair protectors, I have in like, I'm clearly in my home gym, right? And I have also like a studio and office set up in here. So I have chairs that sometimes I actually put on my mats where I'll do like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, grappling, wrestling, and whatnot. So these are exclusively only going on my chairs when they go on the mat. So I can actually protect the mats from any of the outside like surfaces or materials. Now again, you don't have to use that, especially if you don't have like a home gym or things like that. You don't care about that. But these are also great for like, I have kids, they like dragging the chairs around and whatnot, especially out here. I don't want them scuffing up the floors or even in the living room or the dining room or our kitchen. So being able to just throw these on super easy, comes in a pack of 16, and being able to just protect the floors. Again, very much a function perspective, not tremendously fun to use them, right? Like you don't really, these are kind of one of those products that if they're working well, you never really think about them. But from my experience, they've worked tremendously well. And the only reason I ever think about them is like when I want to either give a review or I'm mentioning them on the content that I'm creating. But I give these a thumbs up just again from the function perspective.
All right, so now we're going to dig into another kind of product by the Sexus brand I was talking about with the visors before, specifically for cycling. Now these are just your regular good old Polaroid shades, which I actually use the most. And these are the aviator style. These are my favorite style. I do like the cat eyes, honestly, and I even wear the cat eye one. You guys might call me crazy. We'll dig into that in a little bit. But right now I'm going to highlight the gold ones. These are the color. I wouldn't call these my favorite. I actually like the silver more. But I've been rocking the golds a little bit more lately just because I have the silvers, like I leave them in my car all the time. So these have just been like easy to grab and available. But let's break these down first, and then we'll get into the cat eye style and variation as well.
So I love these glasses. The aviator style, I think, are just like super versatile. So that's what I really enjoy about these. And the gold look, you know what? It's just a nice aesthetic perspective to it. What I will also say is every kind of glasses or sunglasses that I use, I always put them to the test. Here's the test. So can I lean forward and do they move test? Notice how they didn't even move or slide. Even with my hat on or off, they don't move. I've used these for workouts. I've ran in these. I've done push-ups in these. I've actually kept them on for an outdoor workout. They've stayed on my face. So that's like a really cool from a functionality standpoint. I always like to highlight with these is, or with any glasses that I use, is do they stay in place? And obviously, since they are also polarized, being able to help add that extra protection from the UV, from the sun. So there's a functionality standpoint and even from a functionality holding onto the face. And I think from a fashion perspective, my wife likes them. I like the aviator style. They go well, in my opinion, on my face. That's my 2 cents on it also. I give these a thumbs up and I highly recommend them.
Bam, y'all. All right, so now let's kind of like, I'm going to highlight the silver ones, but like I feel like I don't need to really dig into the difference. It's just obviously color. They're the aviators, the same brand, same thing. The only thing I just wanted to highlight them for you guys so you can see them. I actually prefer the silver a little bit more. I just like that look more so than the gold. I don't know why, I just do. But now we're going to dig into the cat eye style, which, like, if I've ranked them, if I had to pick between the two, I'd probably always pick the aviators. However, honestly, I wear the cat eyes. And when I think of cat eyes, I think like, all right, those are gorilla glasses. But like, I even rock them. And honestly, I think I can rock them pretty well, pull them off. So I just wanted to kind of throw that out there for you guys and just like share that perspective. Again, I like the style. These are also polarized. So it can be helpful from like the sun protection. But we're going to keep it rolling right along. I'm not going to spend too much time just on that. Kind of bringing it home for the last couple of products here on the stream. And then, yeah. Also, I got to be honest with you guys, even just talking. Oh, what's up, B? I see you, homie. Hey, hey. Hey, B. How you doing, dude? Haven't seen you in a minute. How's school going? How's everything going? How you doing? How you doing? We're going to dig into the OBS Tiny webcam. This is actually what I'm using to stream to you guys from right now. And again, my favorite feature to it is the motion tracking component. I'm going to actually pull up some B-roll to highlight a little bit more of that. And then we'll kind of take it from there. And then B, you can kind of give me some updates with what's going on with life too.
Now, my favorite part to the OBS Tiny webcam is, again, this motion tracking feature. Now, to help facilitate it, look what I just did. I put my arms up, and now the locking on mechanism just started. So now I can stand up. Oh, look at that. And I can walk around. I can move. I absolutely love this from a feature and a functionality standpoint, because especially, let's say, I'm a strength coach and I don't really work with a lot of new clients anymore, but let's say I have some of my virtual clients, I can show them an exercise over here in my squat rack area. I can come back over here to some free space and either sit down and take some notes with them, or like even from a content creation like doing on Amazon, things like this. I like the ability to demonstrate and move around and whatnot. Now I can even unlock it. Let's say I put my hands up, boom, now it's unlocked. And now I can actually use the gimbal that's on my computer, and look at that, I can easily adjust and slide this over to how I want it. So I want to bring it down low. Look at that. That's the perfect shot right there, y'all. So again, great. It shoots in HD. So from a 1080p HD quality standpoint, it's awesome. It also has an omnidirectional microphone setup, so you can get audio input from all directions. So you don't have to worry about buying an extra microphone or anything like that. It all comes in the same package. And you don't need to really buy or invest in any other software. It has the gimbal software that comes with it. You can also use like OBS for free, or any other kind of like platform that you find, you know, most beneficial for you.
Damn, and B, I hear you, dude. Sometimes you can kind of get into that rut and the routine of things. You can feel like Groundhog Day. That's like, even what I was talking about before, depending on what you do for work, like sometimes especially if it's remote work, just changing up the scenery can be a big thing. And then if you're like stuck working in an office or a cubicle, or like even if it's like a manual job, like trying to find the things that you enjoy the most from it. But anyways, just kind of curious, what are you doing for work? Also, school, not that much control, trying to find the things you enjoy from it. And realize, like, by going to school, even if you don't want to go to the next level, like go to college or university or things like that, just by going to school, you're like completing a part of your life to round out a certain set of skills, getting through it, and then being able to take the next step to the next component of life. That is just kind of an essential piece. Like, even if you don't take away as much of the academic side, like, the things and the skills you learn from like how to deal with people, how to socialize, getting friends, or dealing with bullshit, dealing with bullies, like finding out what interests you, those kind of things become helpful. Like how you actually learn, and those kind of components become invaluable in and of itself. But with that being said, we're going to get on into some Alioth products here. We're going to dig into the Nightlight first. Now, for the Nightlight, before I get into the regular B-roll that I'm going to share with you guys, one of the new things that I wanted to add that I don't cover in the B-roll as much is I've been using the Alioth Nightlight, even though I have it set up right over here during the streams. I bring it into the bedroom, and I actually have a pen and paper next to the bed so that I don't have to use my phone in the middle of the night. If I wake up and I have to like write something down, or I'm thinking about something and it keeps me up, I use a pen and paper to write it down, and use the Nightlight so that I don't have to like get woken up from my phone, which has been a clutch one. So I just wanted to share that with you guys and see, you know, your thoughts around that as well. But with that being said, let's dig on into it. All right. So this kind of Nightlight setup is one that actually both my wife and I use for two totally different purposes. This one I use, and it has 3 different settings on your low, your medium, and your bright. You touch off with this just little touch point in the back. You also have your DC plug-in right here, so you can easily charge it. I use it for additional lighting when I need it, if I'm like recording outside or if I'm, again, even indoors. Like right now I have some good lighting, but if I need to add some extra, I definitely leverage this to just give a little bit of extra lighting. And the way you can position it and move it has a lot of, again, versatility with the positions and the light component to it. But what my wife uses it for, I think you guys might find helpful just from an idea perspective, is we have a young daughter who's a year and a half, and even before that, like now we're going in her room less and less and less. But in the middle of the night, if you do have to go into your kid's room, you know you don't want to wake them up. Or if they're already up, you don't want to put on any bright lights or anything like that to make it worse. So she uses this, keeps it right next to the changing table, puts it on the dim setting so that it's just light enough so we can kind of see as we're navigating the room. We don't have to fish for our phone or anything like that and wake up our daughter. But it's not going to, again, kind of be in the way or any issues when it comes to that. So that's been a pretty cool one. And then you can just cycle through. You can always get a little bit brighter as you need to. But that's been one idea I wanted to share with you guys. How I use it, how my wife uses it, I thought you guys might even find valuable. But from the just like reliancy perspective of it, from the quality of it, I give it a thumbs up, and I like a lot of the products actually this brand puts out as well. So I have to apologize. I got a little hype there, and I dropped an F-bomb in my first comment, so that's why I got taken out. But yeah, B, what's your favorite part, man, to that internship? That's pretty cool. I'm going to speculate it's cool. Maybe you're not passionate about fashion, and somehow you just got stuck with an internship. Maybe that's not as cool, but I imagine if you're doing it, what did you type? Yeah, I dropped an F-bomb. I was like, fucking, that's really fucking cool, and then whatever. But yeah, dude, so let me know, like, what's your favorite part about that? Like, I imagine maybe that's something you want to have a career with or some component or influence there, which is really, really cool. But with that being said, we're going to dig on into the next product here. So this is another one, a desk fan. This one's more just like a functional product. I think it's pretty obvious. You know, just getting air to circulate, help regulating your body temperature, those kind of components, just from a functionality perspective. Let's dig on into it. So, again, like I've had a few products from this brand, Alioth, before, and all of them in quality for me. I like the fact that they can be wireless. You can also keep them plugged in, so you don't have to worry about the battery life. But the big one to me, especially for this desk fan, is, again, the versatility of it. So you can position it how you want. You can collapse it. This is actually one I use less in my kind of home office setup in here in the garage. And I have used it for that before, which it is nice. And it also has these little kind of like pads on the bottom so it doesn't slide on you, which is great. But our car actually doesn't have like AC vents in the back seat. So when our daughters are in the back seat, it can get kind of hot until the AC is kind of circulated, the car cools down, especially when we're going on longer rides. So we actually put this kind of in our center console and let it circulate some of the air into the back seat. And again, it has a good battery life, so you don't even have to keep it plugged in. But if we needed to charge it, has its cable right here. You can plug it in right underneath. And again, you have a lot of versatility with how we position it. Because of these little anti-slide pads here at the bottom, it stays kind of right in place. And again, you can control everything right here from the button in the front, from low, medium, high, and then turning it off. So that's been a really clutch feature to this, more so for the car for our kids than even for, you know, using it at home in my office setup or my wife's office space. But it could be great for both. So that's definitely a clutch option. And the brand itself has been always great from the products I've seen from it in quality. So yeah, B, it sounds like just from like people you get to interact with, like you said, and just adding it to your resume, that's like a win-win. Even if it's not like what you want to make a career move out of, I think the life experience at the end of the day. And then when we think about it again, your overall quality of life, to me, it seems like it's a net positive to your overall quality of life, right? Like being able to meet and socialize with people like girls and things that you're going to want to interact with, studying economics, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, honestly, even with fashion though, that's, you know, any company is going to have a certain variable of economics, right? And in fashion, there has to play a role of economics in the sense of like figuring out pricing for the next season. That's what's interesting about fashion from my perspective. Maybe also working at Target, you probably see this. But the idea of like, hey, they are trying to budget out what first quarter of 2022 is going to look like, fourth quarter of 2022, you know, seasonality of things, how they price things, how they drop things, using certain economic formulas even to price out aspects. I imagine can also play a role there. Like I haven't taken economics since like my bachelor's degree 10 years ago, but there were some interesting things I learned even from that in certain economic principles. Hedge fund or somewhere in the banking finance world. So dude, even still, like let's say you want to get into hedge funds. Like listen, I grew up on Long Island, right? Like I grew up with kids that their parents were like hedge fund managers and making like hundreds of millions of dollars, lots and lots of money. You know, knowing industries and having insight there. Like I had a friend that worked for H&M and Express, and then ended up with like, I forgot what company she's with now. She's not a hedge fund manager by any means, but like the insight you gain from the industry itself can be really helpful in like the finance world, especially when you do investing and even banking. Like being able to recognize a good investment and having an understanding, like don't overlook that. Again, I'm not a doctor, take that with a grain of salt, but that's just like my 2 cents on it. With that being said, though, also what gets you into like, if you don't mind me asking, hedge fund management and like banking and finance? I'm imagining it's the money, right? Because most people don't go into like hedge fund management and stuff like that because they have a crazy passion. Like it's actually, I find it very exciting, to be honest with you. Like I just like investing. I've been doing investing since I was like 12 years old. So both my parents are accountants, so like I just geek out about that stuff. But I wonder, like, is it a passion of yours, or are you doing it for the money? And either one's fine. I'm just more like curious than anything else. Now, the thing I like about these neck fan kind of aspect, or the neck fan aspect to this, is the portability. But when I say portability, it's not just like with some of the other products they have, you can travel with them. But A, the fact that literally this can fit in your pocket. You can kind of just compact it up, throw it in your pocket, throw it in your bag, doesn't take up a lot of space. But like I'm a coach, right? So let's say I'm in my actual gym, or I'm even in the home garage and the AC hasn't kicked on yet, or anything like that. I'm just hot in general. Like being able to have this on and being able to be so close to me to circulate the air, that to me is the most portable aspect about this. It takes that portability level up a notch. Again, this is not like an AC unit though. It's not gonna like cool the air itself. It's just gonna circulate the air. So that's one thing I've even seen kind of in the reviews on this product, is I just wanted to like share my experiences. Like it'll work well for being a fan, but it's not gonna cool the air. Also, just to highlight, it doesn't have any cooling aspect in the wire parts of this that goes around your neck, but it's super adjustable. You can adapt it, put it in different directions. And again, it has 3 different settings, low, medium, and high. You can cycle through, power it off. And it has the charging port right here. So you can just plug it in, charge it, and be ready to go. So this one's been clutch for me as far as like the function of it, which I didn't even like think about this idea until I saw it. And I was like, oh, that's actually a really good option for being able to just get some air going on you, especially when you're hot. Like I sweat pretty easily, so this one's been pretty clutch. All right, y'all. Let's get a little cheers going here with the next product we're going to dig into with the whiskey glass set. Now, as you notice, there's not whiskey in here. I got seltzer that I was drinking from before. Now, again, this is going to, I think, maybe be an interesting take. I don't actually drink that much. Maybe that's not as much a surprise. But what I use the whiskey glass set for might be interesting. So I'm going to share that with you guys. We'll dig into that B-roll. Then we got a couple more products here we're going to bring this bad boy home with. And then kind of on the fence, I might actually not do a second stream tonight because I'm already starting to feel a little nasally and whatnot, a little bit worse off. I might just do 3 tomorrow instead of 2. We'll see what's going on there. And then I'm going to drop some messages here in the chat with you.
So I thoroughly enjoy this. And again, I'm not a big alcohol drinker, so I actually don't use this for whiskey or any kind of cocktails or whatnot. But the thing I like about this, it has this little nodule here at the bottom. So what you can do is, I'm actually going to, hold on, let me turn my motion tracking camera on. I'll bring this down so you guys can kind of see it right here on my little table set up here. It'll fall off to one side. See how it kind of moves? So what I like to do is, while I have my drink in here, I can kind of spin it. And it's kind of like a little, like, just a fun component to like fidget with. So as someone like me that clearly, I don't know if you can tell, I talk fast, I have a little bit of ADD action going on. Having something like that to fidget and play with is really cool. And I also drink basically a gallon of water every day, so being able to break that down, where a gallon of water can feel kind of intimidating for a lot of people. I'm not saying you should do this, or how much water to drink, it's all depending. But having a smaller glass like that can sometimes make it feel more manageable. It's like I can do this basically almost like a shot. Get water down, keep the intake coming in. So I thoroughly enjoy it, even just being able to play with it. It's a lot of fun, I'll be honest with you guys. So I give it a thumbs up from a function perspective and also from a fun perspective, and the aesthetics of it. I think it just looks good.
Yeah, I get you with like kind of both components there. And whoa, easy with the terminology, the phrasing here, guy. You gotta relax. Unless you just like trolling people, but even still, relax with that one. Unless you don't know what that word means, which I'm gonna speculate you know what that word means if you're using it, and relax. Anyways, with that being said, let's dig on into the next product here. We're gonna look at the Foxlux solar lights. Again, this is one I think is pretty obvious. Like when I talk about the different solar light or the different lights here on the stream, I'm gonna dig into the Briz Labs next. Excuse me. Each one of them has their own individual thing or unique trait to it that makes it stand out, in my opinion, because they all have a weather resistant component. Like you can leave them outside. All that's great. You don't have to worry about that component. Now, where I think they kind of are separate or different in the Foxwell Swim Stands is the solar light component of it. That's pretty obvious, right? Which is a cool feature. But the cool thing about that is that you don't have to rely exclusively on the solar component to actually make it work. You can actually plug it in and use electricity. But it is pretty cool to be able to use the sun for power. And again, like I like having the outdoor lights, regardless if it's the Govee ones, the Foxlux, or the Brislabs, which I'll get into last, just to have that kind of space and just sit there and just chill. Like honestly, that's what I'm gonna do after this. I think after this stream, I'm not gonna do a second stream. I think I'm either gonna do three tomorrow, or I'll do 2 tomorrow, and then I'll do 1 on Sunday. I'll kind of see what goes down there. But I'm already kind of feeling the nasal congestion here, so I'm gonna probably shut it down after this bad boy. So let's kind of like dig into now the Brislab ones, and I'll show you guys. So now to me, the unique trait, or I think the things that sticks out for the Brislab ones is, to me, they're the most aesthetically pleasing. Like, I enjoy how these look the most. The Govee ones, I think, are the most durable. Like, they won't break. Foxlux obviously have the solar, and the Govee ones have the like smart tech integration. But the Brislabs, these I think are just the most aesthetically pleasing. So let's just check them out. You guys will be able to see in my garage how they were set up before I moved them back outside.
So I absolutely love these lights, and I love them so much actually that I decided instead of putting them outside, I kept them inside with my squat rack here. And bam, I wanted to show you guys, so I plugged them in just so you can kind of see them. And I really enjoy them. The cool thing about these, you can plug them into other sets. You can go up to 28 sets, which I think goes upwards about 700 feet of lighting, which is really cool, especially if you have like a wedding or an event, or like we have a party for my daughter this upcoming weekend. So I'll be honest with you guys, I might actually take them outside and let my wife use them for the kind of gazebo setup that we have. But I actually kind of like them here in my indoor like squat rack setup. Add a little light to it, add a little kind of aesthetic feel to it. But these are actually perfectly fine to be outdoors. So you can use them and you don't have to worry about they're weatherproof. So if it's gonna rain, whatever's gonna happen, these are gonna be fine outside and they last. I've actually tested them outside, but I like them inside a little bit more. Just for me and for the garage setup, so that's why you're seeing them here. But that's my 2 cents on it, and I really enjoy them, and I highly recommend these bad boys.
Bam! All right, y'all. So now we're gonna get into the last Flybird product. And I got one more product for you guys, the Geek Chef Air Fryer Toaster. That one has another discount, Black Friday discount going down for you guys, so I want to make sure I cover that. But we're gonna stay on the flat bench. Again, I have the adjustable bench right here. We already went over that one. And I'm going to say I always pick the adjustable bench over a flat bench if you had to pick one. But if you already have an adjustable bench, then a flat bench can be a good move. But let's break this down. You guys can kind of see some of the qualities and traits and aspects to it. So enjoy, y'all.
In this video, I'm going to be talking to you about the Flybird flat bench. And as you can see, it's a nicely padded bench, super durable. That's been my favorite thing to use about this particular bench. And I'm going to show you a really cool feature with this bench from the adjustment standpoint and the legs here. So we're going to take a little closer look at the adjustable component here with folding it up, which I think is a really cool aspect to being able to store it. So you pull that pin out, you're going to turn this to loosen it, and then once it's loose, you're going to pull out that spring-loaded mechanism. And you can see here, I'm just loosening it up. Once you have it loose, you just pull on that, and then I have it stand up vertically, so you're going to see it just drop right down. And the cool thing about that, again, if you look at this, it folds up. So if you do want to hang it on the wall, you want to put it off to the side from a storage capability, it's just a cool aspect that I really like to it. But overall, just going back to the durability of this, and again, looking at the padding, it's a comfortable bench and it gets the job done. I highly recommend if you're looking to add a flat bench to your toolbox.
So, all right, guys, we're gonna go into the Geek Chef Air Fryer Toaster. Again, this one has 25% off, so I highly recommend taking advantage of it. I'm just laughing at some of the things. Man, I'm laughing at it, but also, yeah. And I figured, like, just from the terms we're using, man, that you would be Italian. And then I'm like, you're Italian? No, I'm white. Like, I'm Italian, just saying I'm not. And it doesn't really freaking matter. I don't care. I don't take that personal. I think it's funny. But relax there, guy. Relax with all your terminology and your words here. Anyways, with that being said, let's get on into the Geek Chef breakdown, and we'll kind of bring it home with that and wrap it up. And then I'll I'll see if you guys watch in the chat. Let me know if you want me to come back on for a second stream tonight. I might end up like taking a little bit of a 15-minute break, do a second stream, or I might just leave it for tonight and then I'll do 2 tomorrow, maybe 1 on Sunday. We'll see what goes down here. So just to dig in here a little bit more into highlight, I wanted to have 2 different B-rolls playing. Right up here is the chicken wings. Right over here are the dehydrated mangoes. What I actually did, because I wanted to show you guys, like, I think sometimes when we think about, like, you know, changing up your nutrition habits and whatnot, it's like, oh, I have to have everything from scratch. It has to be perfect. Like, I'll be honest with you, no. Sometimes I don't have the time to make fresh chicken wings, like, with my own sauce and whatnot. So I bought these from the store, straight up from the freezer. They already had the buffalo ranch sauce on. I threw them right into the air fryer toaster, threw the settings on, be able to throw it on air fryer. I put it on 20 minutes, I believe, and 10 minutes about halfway through. I just flip them, got them nice and crispy, and they were amazing. So I wanted to share that with you guys specifically for this one, so you guys can understand, like, again, even as a health professional, this is what I do for a living. Ideally, it's great to have organic and fresh and make your own sauce and do all that stuff, totally. But sometimes, based on time and bandwidth and what you have going on, this might be the best option. It's about making the best choice and the best option you have at that time. And being able to have the Geek Chef air fryer toaster can help leverage that a little bit more, have it a little bit more convenient. You don't have to worry about like preheating it and stuff like that, which to me was pretty awesome, because that's one of my hesitations when it comes to using the oven, which I still use at times. It's just like I don't want to have to preheat it and wait. It adds more time onto it. So literally dial it to 20 minutes, throw them in, flip them halfway through, and you're good to go. And even that, you technically don't have to. I just like to. Now let's slide over to the mangoes here for a second. Looking at these, this is again another one. I'm a huge fan of dehydrated mangoes, but from a cost perspective and also from like a kind of portion sizing perspective, I can spend a lot of money and I can also eat way too much of them. So what I decided to do was, again, get the frozen ones and just throw them in. Now what you'll notice in this one, they got a little crispy because I put them in for 3 hours straight. What I would recommend after doing it since then is being able to do them from a half hour at a time, let them sit for 10 minutes, flip them, do it for another half hour, then let them rest for like 10 minutes and then see where they're at. And then maybe an hour and a half in usually is gonna be good. I did it for 2 hours this last time, and it came out, again, great, not as crispy on the edges. These were frozen from chunks. What I also did is I got some fresh mangoes now, and I'm gonna slice them up longer and thinner, and I'll shoot some B-roll for that as well if you guys want to see that and dig into some of the differences when you lay them down and what it can look like. But I wanted to share that with you guys because I'm a really big fan of leveraging the air fryer and toaster, not adding the calories from oils, and being able to have the versatility it can provide with so many different things. Bam. All right, so even if it's only you asking for it, I'm going to give the people what they want. You're saying second stream. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to wrap up this stream. I'm going to take like a 15, 20-ish minute break, refuel my tea, get some more seltzer going, maybe get a lozenge. And then I'm going to come back in about 20 minutes at 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's 7:41 right now Eastern time. I'll be back around 8, maybe 8:05, maybe 8:15 p.m. the latest, but I'll be back for the second stream. I'm going to give you guys what you want to see. Now, the second stream, I'm going to go over different products. So it's not even going to be all the same stuff. I'm going to go over some different things, some different deals, dig into some other products. Hopefully, you guys will enjoy it. But yeah, I better see you back, man. If you're requesting it, I want to see you back here on the second stream. And then we're also going to get a duck race going on that second stream as well. So you have a chance to win a free Amazon gift card or access to our nutrition course. Fun fact, by the way, B, you've been asking about the apparel. I think we're actually going to end up ordering a print machine and an embroidery machine so we can start actually making our own clothing here in-house. So I don't have to worry about like outsourcing and stuff. So I'll be back though, y'all. That's basically what I'm saying. See you guys in about 20 minutes.